It's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show. And I'm Gary.
And I am Mark.
And we're coming to you...
A new place.
A new place.
Never been here.
3010 Canoga Road,
Whoa.
which is the...
Don't give them town. Don't give them
Okay.
the town. Okay.
But yeah. But this is the headquarters...
International headquarters.
For Inside Out.
Woohoo!
Not to be confused with this blockbuster movie of the same name.
No.
Okay.
This is a blockbuster outdoor program that has celebrated 30 years...
This year.
This year.
Mm-hmm. And we have its executive director.
We do.
Chief financial officer.
Yeah.
Program director.
Yeah.
A marketing expert.
Yeah.
A program development.
And most recently, world traveler.
That's true.
Yeah.
Monica Barrios.
Barrios. You don't roll the R. Barrios?
I don't know.
Barrios.
Do you?
Adam
I don't,
does.
but they did in Spain.
Yeah, well.
And I can never do that. And Monica's actually from Louisiana. They probably do something
I know.
else.
So
She's
an
one of
Adam
those
Camper said, "Do you know Monica Barrios?" And I said, "Well, I know Monica Barrios, but yeah." Yeah, well, here she is.
And you've known Monica probably longer than me.
Well, we both go back over 30 years.
Yeah.
Because back when we were all kind of affiliated with camps. And then I think she pinch hit for a winter or two at Diamond Brand.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did one winter.
One winter.
Three
Felt
solid
like
So I could be part of the club. 'Cause
Yeah.
Just like Globetreks, there's a bunch of
Just
people
like
who used to
Globetreks.
work for Globetreks,
We've
part
all-
of the club or
yeah,
the cult or whatever it might be called. But
survivors. Yeah.
Survivors would be a good
Yeah.
way to put it. So for people who have no clue, we've said that what her name is and the name of her organization. We're going to let Monica explain
Yes.
what Inside Out does. All right, Monica, what do you do?
Well, it's a tough question to summarize in a brief statement, but essentially we provide experiences for youth, mostly school groups, middle school age, field trips. So we get them for a day or we get them for several days. They're overnight, most of them, and the ones that are day are maybe 1 or 2 days at the most. And we've been doing this without a facility, mind you, for 30 years. So we rent summer camps to do this in the spring and fall, or we go to a state park, or we go to the campus of a school if they can't afford an overnight, and we do multiple days there, or a nearby park to the school, or a summer program. We can go anywhere. We were mobile from the beginning, but did have relationships with many camps in the area to provide our facility for the overnight part.
And so these school groups, like I know I worked with one that you work with and still do, they sometimes come year after year after year with the 5th grade or the 8th grade or whatever.
Yes.
Right.
So fortunately, and maybe it says a little bit about the program, that when schools get to us, they typically stay with us. So many of our schools, at least 3, are 30-year clients. And then the rest are... We have 2 new ones this fall, so that's exciting, and they want to have that longevity, so that's a good thing. And then the majority of the other ones are 10 or 18 years, like that. So it says a lot about their program, and they just trust that we're going to give the best program we can, and that's what I strive to do.
And you say we, so it's not just you out there and 30 kids. It might be you and how many people, and 50 kids or 100 kids.
Yeah, so we can outfit over 100 kids and comfortably run a program, but I will have a staff for every 8 to 10 or 12 students.
And so I've never been one of your staff members, but I've taken pictures. But Gary, have you ever helped her?
Many years ago, I think it was at Camp Tonawanda, and I tried to invent where the kids built a bridge.
Yes. Wow.
And I was never asked back. Let me just say that after the bridge building. So I figured it must have been, I don't know. But anyway,
that bridge is probably still standing.
Kind of made it up as we went along. But
that's really a great memory, because that was when we were trying to do more than one program at one time. So we'd have a director at one camp and then with a program and another director at another camp with a program, and needed so many staff that we would ask people like you, because you are talented, you just can't, you don't have enough time to do every program, but to get you for one was, it was a good thing for us, for sure.
And you probably got paid too, didn't you, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
Monica does that, yeah. Unlike me, who tries to get people for free.
Well, yeah. Well, we can talk about that. But it's just you talk more about it, but getting kids outside, working together in a task, which you can't. I mean, it's being outside versus inside.
Inside out.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Many reasons for the name. But, But getting kids outside it's only even part of what we do, because it's when kids go to school together, they start that relationship, and it can go 12 years. So to have an experience as a class, to us, is the key for them to understand tolerance and respect for each other and where everybody is with their fears, with their communication, and just that experience is a foundation for some kind of growth. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you came up with a name?
So we had a list, probably 2 pages long, of names, and decided on Inside Out. And to me, it was the perfect name, because not only that movie, which is all about those things about our inside, has to be good before we can be a part of the outside. So Inside Out.
You know, if you want to pursue this, we have a show attorney, Joe Clark.
Former Camp Mondama guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's been on the show.
Yeah.
He's helped us through some legal issues, like raising money illegally and stuff.
Yeah.
He suggested we not do. But you probably could sue Disney for using that name, Inside Out, because you date back 30 years.
We tried to get it nationally registered, but Stephen Covey, y'all know who
I know
that
who
is.
he is.
Oh, the
Never met him.
7 Habits of
Highly.
whatever. Yeah.
So he had a program out west with adults, not even kids, and it was the name he had, Inside Out, is for one little program that he had, and so we couldn't do it because of that. And then it cost a lot to register your name, so we just stopped pursuing it. And then I see Inside Out names all over the place.
Yeah.
There's a daycare, I think, in Brevard.
Really? Well, you're inside out of Canoga Road. We won't give the address or city, but
Okay.
We'll say near Watershed, not far
It
from
is
Watershed.
near Watershed.
Yeah. So you take mostly students, but you also do adults sometimes or never anymore?
Sometimes. I don't. I like to push myself, and if we normally just do kids and an adult group asks, I will consider it. I will put a proposal in, and sometimes I get it, and I get to experience working with adults. And it's just not our main gig. Our main client is a school.
Well, it's probably, having worked with mostly kids, I know adults can be hard because they're already set in their mind. And it's hard to tell them to shut up and sit down. You can do that with kids sometimes.
Yes.
Not that you should tell them to shut up.
No.
But you can say, sit down, be quiet, or something.
I just think that an adult program, without everybody being on the same page as I'm ready to be vulnerable, I'm ready to be open to hearing what I do and what you do, and to talk about it. It's because just to have fun is one thing, but to really work on the team is a whole nother story.
Yes, and it reminds me the hardest hikes when we were at summer camp.
Other than one with me.
Oh no, I got us lost. No, but we just get the father-son hikes because of the fathers. Get that, fathers? I'm talking to you. Yeah, being willing to listen and follow the rules. Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, because they think they know the best way, and their way may have been good 20 years before. But.
Well, and you're not really talking to them.
People aren't forthcoming with a thought because they're so used to not speaking truth or not speaking, I don't know, because of fear. I think fear is the foundation for lots of things.
Yep.
And you've hinted on this, but a big part of the programs is not just having fun, but it's team building. And often, like I know the school you work with in the fall that I used to teach at, they do this early in the year. So in theory, they build on that throughout the year. You remember that time you were with Inside Out at Paris Mountain State Park, and this happened, and how do we solve the problem? Because it's neat to watch professionals do it.
Yeah, that connection is a responsibility of the teacher to continue the lessons learned on the trip, because we are with them for such a short time. So without that commitment by the teachers to keep it going, it could be wasted. I hate to say wasted, but the experience could be wasted if it's not referred back to, because that's what it's about, referring back to that, because the foundations are on the program. I mean, I would love to repeat times with schools, like maybe 3 times a year, but we have one time.
Yeah.
So do you
So
have
we
any,
make the most of it.
Do you have any favorite memories of things happened at programs, or memories that maybe weren't so great but you've never forgotten them?
That you want to talk about?
Like our trip to Beach Point 50-something years
Don't
ago.
bring it up, Mark.
I know. There's a whole nother video. We'll link to that one.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many. I guess that there are so many things that go wrong, but are okay because nothing's perfect. But to remember details, that's going to be hard. But the thing that is a consistent memory are the kids' faces when they learn something new. Just that awareness of something good happening in their mind or in the group or you can see it. And then of course like a view or the backpacking trips to me are the biggest team building experiences, the most reward available.
Really?
Yeah.
And some of those kids, I know for a fact, have never, ever had a backpack on before.
Sometimes.
So some of these who are pampered at home and used to everything being done for them, what goes through their minds, do you think, when they show up and all of a sudden you say, that's your pack, that's your sleeping bag, you got to help with food, you got to help wash dishes, you got to poop, you got to dig a hole and carry out the toilet paper and all this stuff. I mean, I can just imagine.
Yes, and it is all like that, like fear, anxiety, concern washes over them. But I think it starts back at school because luckily the teachers try to make that what's going to happen a little less, I guess, extreme by talking about it before they get there. So that's a good thing. But still, you can see it on the faces. We tell staff a lot that assessment of a group is seen. You don't have to, they show it on their face. They show it by the way they act. You can assess your group just by watching them, and that's the most important part. So the anxiety, you can just go to that person and make them feel better by saying, hey, I see you. You're having a hard time. It's okay.
Well, I know if you asked me to go on a hike as a camper now, I'd be in tears because putting the pack on is nothing easy. I mean, your trips, if they're in the mountains, are still going to be up and down. You don't pick a flat trail because there aren't any.
Exactly.
And it's not easy. I mean, Gary tells me Gary still backpacks at age 70-something.
I know, I saw that.
But it's pretty
and
light.
with a replaced hip and all this stuff.
Well, that's the best part of my body. We won't show it, but it's really great. It's my teenage section. But I'm going, I go pretty light. My pack, I'm not out for more than 3 or 4 or 5 days.
That's a long time.
And my pack is in the low 20s at most.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And then the other thing I always say to take along, I'll be 75 next month. I take along a 65-year-old, Hoyle Adams, if I can, and a 51-year-old, David Burns, who I'd hired at the old Diamond brand back in 99.
But you can't convince either of those other two to carry some of the
stuff. But I mean, we're all pretty low.
Who carries that flask I always hear about?
We all carry those.
We all carry one. Okay.
That's ground softener.
That's a must.
Ground softener at night, just a little bit, not too much.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever had too much in one day and not had enough for the second day?
No, because if you do that, I'm at that age now. Get the next morning waking up is as important as I can't. The recovery time from overindulgence is makes me kind of not overindulge.
Good for you.
I like it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I've told Gary one day I'll bring my camper van and I'll stay. In fact, Joe Clark said, we'll stay over there in this campground and y'all come through there and stay. And
Yeah. We talk about that.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'll do day hiking. I'm not doing any more backpacking. I gave that up in 2003.
Well, y'all, my challenge this year is the 30th year. So for the school that's been with us 30 years, ESA Episcopal School of Acadiana, I am right now committed to being a backpacking instructor for that trip. And I have to start getting in shape and carrying the backpack to get ready. And I'm planning on it. My name is on the calendar to be with a group. And I'm excited about it and nervous. And
well, I'm
now doing it for the 30-year.
Prepping now has its own thing called rucking.
Oh.
I mean, this way you can go buy special rucking shoes and a rucking, but rucking
Never heard
is
of this.
Listen, if you Google rucking, you find all kinds of people who are specialists, but essentially it's putting weight in a pack and walking with it to get in shape.
Okay, well, I'm going to be rucking.
Yes, she
starting
will
next week.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
I have until October.
that's just curious. Back to your backpack.
Yeah.
Monica can chime in, but you say low 20s.
Yeah.
How much is your sleeping bag? Just start with what you have.
Well, I mean, summertime,
You like
I
that?
may just take a fleece blanket.
Okay.
I don't use a tent. I have a tarp.
Ground cover or no?
Oh, I've got no. You got with the Tyvek on the ground. That's and then I've got air mattress. A super light you blow up because the ground's gotten harder. The ground has gotten harder.
It's global warming, I think.
I've got a Neo air mattress. I've got a closed cell phone, the little one in case the other one pokes a hole in. I need all that cushioning, and so that's takes care of that. I mean, base weight. Talk about without food and water. Base weight I'm around 15, 16 pounds.
Ooh, already before food and water and clothes?
Well, you don't need much in the way of clothes.
Right now we're talking food. I guess you can collect water if you got a purifier. Filtration or something. But
Yeah.
But
Well, what about the backpack itself? Because Gary, when I worked at Diamond Brand, I got a backpack after my 4 months was over, and I still have that backpack. Yeah. And it's heavier.
It probably weighs 4 or 5 pounds.
It does.
Yeah. See that? I
can't use it this fall.
Well,
and it's a Gregory. It's awesome, but it's heavy.
This brings to mind a guy came in. We were in the second Diamond Brand. He bought his Kelty pack from Dick Kelty at the converted gas station in California. He was retired. He said, I don't need this anymore. Would you want to, because we were hanging up old gear, and I traded him a gift certificate for it. We hung it up in the store. Well, when Diamond Brand kind of went the way it went, I said, I'm taking that pack home. Pack frame and pack, total weight, 2 pounds.
Really?
Frame pack. Yeah, they didn't weigh, and they didn't have, because that Gregory has all the super padding, which would make it great for carrying a heavy load, but hopefully you won't have to carry it.
I think the weight of our packs, like if I was an instructor, like when I'm going to be, it's going to be like 30 to 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So how many miles is this trip? I mean,
so it's not about a sufferfest.
Okay, that's good. I like that term.
It's not about that.
And there you go.
Back in the day, we used to be able to do more mileage, but we can't do that now. We have to, reduce it because kids are just not the same as they were back when we started. And it's not a big deal. It's just that's the way it is.
Yep.
And so, like the first day, a mile or less, just to get out there in the afternoon. And then the maybe the biggest day is a 5 mile.
Yeah.
5 miles.
I mean, that's
plenty.
For someone from Louisiana, it's pretty much flat land and elevation at 0 or below sea level to come to 4,000 or 5,000 feet wherever you hike and go up and down. That's an expedition. them.
And
to
we
me.
try to, like 5 miles if you start early enough, is doable
Yeah.
no matter what your physical ability is. Because, I mean, you might get into camp late, but it's okay.
All right, so let's move back to your program for just a minute because we're having a great show here. But you also recently started this program to go. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. It's adventuregamestogo.com, and that's the website. And on that website, we are going to sell and are selling these games that are portable, that you can buy and have and do anywhere. The first one that we have completed is called Escape from Tiger Island. It's a 4-area challenge.
And I've actually
In
seen
one
that
box.
in
I think I
work.
saw that you post on Facebook. You did, yeah.
We've been actually, the first time I did an escape room was in 2015, and I did 4 of them because I liked it so much. And I said, we have to do this for Inside Out outside as one of our activities. So we started developing one. And since then, we've been developing 3 or 4 areas. And during COVID, during the pandemic, we had to be more portable than we already were. And so we made that game, components of it lighter. And instead of a tarp, we used webbing, for instance. Mm-hmm. And then got the idea of selling it because, I mean, it's the next step, right? You do programs, you want to give what
Share
you
it.
know, and
Yeah,
you want to
so,
share
yeah.
it. So it's in a box. It comes with 4 challenges, and it's for sale on adventuregamestogo.com.
I'll put the link
Yeah.
in the show.
And it's been tried and tested. We've been doing it since then, and we've been actually playing the game that we are selling for 2 years now. And so and then we've sold several, and the schools love it. And I did it actually as an expose for Henderson County adults for a summer camp program that they do Camp Field Day.
Oh,
and so I'd
yeah.
set up a little area, and they would come through, and the compass challenge is called the cave, and they couldn't get out because they didn't follow the directions.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and the kids also have a hard time, but the adults could not get out just because of direction number 3.
There's a message there, folks.
Yeah, and my brain does not work abstract for things like that. I could never solve one. So I'm glad those kids can.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then when they don't get out, it's still enjoyable because they were, all working towards something, and it's a good conversation.
And you should see
to
the
have
look on their
after.
faces when they do solve it. They jump up and down. They're excited.
They do. It's just like an escape room, except it's
Yeah.
outside. And the other difference is there is a component where they all have to work together to get out. So it's not like you solve that, and we can get out. It's like we all have to do this one thing before we can get to that lock, to get to that other clue, to get out.
And so teacher can actually buy this now, ship to their place, and they do it themselves.
Yep,
And,
and
it's
they-
good for
and this-
years after year. It doesn't wear out.
Non-consumable parts, and it's theirs to do what they wish. Once you play it, you actually will know exactly how to make it benefit your purpose. No problem. You just play it once, and then it's
So
easy.
in order to play it, you need to read the instructions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
do
much.
It, do it once by yourself first or with a friend or something. 'Cause it's complicated to me when I look at it, but I think it's fantastic.
It can be overwhelming to look at the bag or the box when you get it, but just take your time. And of course, the booklet really does tell you exactly what to do.
And you have
So,
virtually every single thing in the box they need. They don't have to run to Walmart and pick up $50 worth of stuff.
exactly.
They have it in a classroom like a marker or something, or they don't need it.
It comes with everything. And then the next game that we actually created during the pandemic is called Super Secret Spy Caper, and it's a mystery challenge. And we're going to develop that to be a digital download, so teachers can print their own things. They can, step it up if they would like to, like a game changer, like buy a box and make locks, or you can have a picture. So we'll provide all of that in a digital download. It'll be affordable, and also could be in every classroom across the United States. That's coming next as soon as Escape is fully fully, like the new booklet for the next 50 games that I'm going to create.
So her mind's always thinking ahead, which is great. Which is why people can't see it, but there's a board over here and a board over here filled with programs for this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say, congratulations. 30 years in a program
30
like
years.
that. Yep. Even survived the
Thank you.
pandemic when schools weren't doing anything. Kids were
Hard.
home or whatever. So, yeah, it wasn't easy, but she's still here. Well, Monica, we want to thank you for this. We're not finished yet.
No.
All right, we're going to do a couple of things from history, Gary.
Are we?
Then we'll wrap up.
Okay, thanks to well,
Monica
let's
was
see.
worried. Her first podcast, she did great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. She did great, right? Yeah, there we go.
There they are out there, the crowd. Hey.
They've been quiet until now, but,
Yeah,
but they're
that's,
with us. They're with us now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, crowd. You can get
Take
quiet
that,
now.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Good job, crowd. All right.
So we're doing this day in history?
Yeah, a few things on
Well, how
that.
about 60 years ago?
60 years ago.
Lyndon Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act.
I remember that day, actually.
I do too. I was 15. Well, almost 15.
I
Let's
guess you
think
weren't
of-
born, Monica. She has no idea.
Yeah, let's see. Second day of the Battle of Gettysburg. What else? Oh, James Garfield was shot on this day in 1881. Amelia Earhart here.
Oh, yeah.
This was the day her plane kind of vanished. So happy landings to you, Amelia Earhart. Farewell, First
And,
Lady of the
people
Air.
keep thinking they're close to finding that plane.
Yeah.
But it's still out there somewhere. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Oh, that's enough of
That's
history.
enough.
Oh, Continental Congress votes for independence from Britain. How about that?
Yeah, and that's on
That's
July
1776.
2nd. July 2nd. So,
Yeah.
we celebrate on the 4th because...
I tell you, here's my public service announcement. If anybody's listening before July 4, combat veterans and pets
Oh, yeah.
don't like fireworks. So get some sparklers, watch a movie, but forget the fireworks.
I
That's
know.
my-
And that's a hard thing to sell because people think
Yeah.
they have to have it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
Yeah.
learned that in 71 with a friend who'd been a Marine in Vietnam, and we're watching fireworks, and he didn't like it. So, duh.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Gary. Well, we have one more piece of business here.
We do?
We do. And so it's something we don't always do, but if we can, we like to.
Well, yes.
And so you can tell she's not seen many of our podcasts.
No, she doesn't.
But Gary's going to make a presentation.
And to you,
Oh,
Monica Barrios. Yes, you have earned a BS in podcasting from the Gary and Mark Podcasting University. Look, it
I'm so
comes
excited.
with complimentary Rabbit
yay.
Island and Gary and Mark podcast stickers you can display proudly.
And this is already framed. You don't
Already,
have to.
yeah,
right?
look at this.
And
Suitable.
I'm going to display it with my other.
That's
treasures.
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Accolade in the entrance.
She's got a lot. This will look as impressive as the,
Yes.
I saw them coming in. Things from Henderson County School District and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Congratulating
Yay.
her.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Thank you.
most
Thank
welcome.
you. So not only that, okay, we are usually, if you're a good host and guest in this case, we like to make you part of this university.
Yes.
So I looked up our records. We've actually got quite a few staff members, sometimes more than students.
Yeah.
We already have one that's director of outdoor education. However, that was one that was running Muddy Sneakers, Gary. Remember that? Worked a long time ago. But I think for Monica, we can make her the Dean of Team Building and Experiential Education.
I think that's appropriate.
You accept that, Anna?
I accept.
Your deanship, yeah.
Okay, we're going to
I
add
love it.
you to our roster of staff. Now, we need some students, and fall's coming
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
We're skipping this summer. It's too hot down there. But we enrollment is open for the Gary Mark Podcasting University.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
You do that online at
If you wanna-
GaryandMark.com.
If you want to prepay, send the checks to Mark.
Right. Go right
Yeah.
ahead. And you find
Just
my
leave
address.
the amount blank. We'll fill that
Yeah,
in
we'll
for
keep
you.
it reasonable.
Yeah.
But this way, it's cheaper.
They do.
Cheaper than any other university. You can,
Yes.
in fact, save a lot of money.
Yeah, you can.
All right. Well,
I've learned a lot.
there you go. I
Well.
know. And she's already graduated.
Yeah.
She came in here without a degree, and now she's got a
Well,
BS
yeah.
in honors, with honors. So, Gary, it's been another great show.
Yeah, it has, Mark. All
And,
right.
it was
Thank you.
fun. Well, thank you for being part of this. Gary, we'll see you next time.
All
See you
right.
soon.
Next time.
We're signing off.